So at your tables, I want you to consider what's on the board. Work this out together at your tables. And then I'm going to come and give you paper for you guys to illustrate what your table came up with. So this is your prompt. A necklace has 2 red beads for every 3 yellow beads. How many yellow beads are there if the necklace has 6 red beads? So take a minute with your tables, with a blank sheet of paper, talk about it, and let's start working it out. Prior to this lesson, we just finished a unit on adding fractions with unlike denominators and adding mixed numbers, adding and subtracting. So this was the first day of ratios, so it was something brand new.
I'm saying it's 60 because it says 2 yellow beads. It says 2 red beads for every 3 yellow beads. So if they have 2 red beads and then they have 3 yellow, so that's already 2, and then 3 yellow, and then they have, if the necklace has 6 red beads, so that's 2, 4, 6. How many yellow beads are there? Oh,
It's 6 of them. It's 6 red beads. It's 6 red beads, and then it's 3 yellow every one.
Since Common Core, my teaching in math has changed by me really taking time and giving the students time to struggle through some of their difficulty with it. And before Common Core, I just wanted to say, no, look at it this way. And you want to just go in and help them to make that connection.
These are the yellow ones, just so you know. So it's 6 of these, and for every 2 red beads, there has to be 3 yellow beads. So if there's 6 of them, there's 9 yellow beads, because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9.
Okay, so anyone else say? If you have 2
I
yellow
say 9.
beads, if you say 9, say raise your hand. Raise your hand.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, who says yellow?
I said it's I drew this because like Tyson said, every 2 red marbles there's 3 marbles. So then I was gonna draw 4 marbles. Then there's gonna be 6 yellow marbles. 4 red marbles. Then there's gonna be 6 yellow marbles. Then I was gonna draw 6 red marbles and then go to 9 yellow marbles. That's exactly what I was gonna draw.
First we had to add 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9, and we got 9 yellow bracelets. Then we had, then that's mostly it. Then after that, we had to draw a picture, 1 yellow, 2 yellow, 3 yellow, 4 yellow, 5 yellow, 6 yellow, 7 yellow, 8 yellow, 9 yellow. That's how we know all the yellows we got. You could have said 3 times 3, right?
Okay, so let's look at your work. Going back to the question. The question says, a necklace has 2 red beads for every 3 yellow beads. How many yellow beads are there if the necklace has 6 red beads?
The 2 red beads come every 3 yellows. So if you do the yellows first, if you do 3 yellows first, then you have to do 2 reds, and then it keeps going on.
Why do you have to do 2 reds?
Because that's what the question.
Because that's what the question says. If there was one message that I would tell teachers about Common Core, it would be to slow down, take your time, because that's what the students need. That's what we need as teachers, to be able to really go in depth with students. And if we keep rushing through it, we miss those golden opportunities for the sake of scope and sequence. So that would be my message. Slow down, take your time, go deep. The important part of what she's saying is it's telling you in order for the yellows to exist, right? The reds have a relationship with them. So there's some type of a brother-sister type of thing where they have to be together. So again, for the necklace, for every 2 reds, there have to be 3 yellows. This table, they said 9 yellow beads.
Yes, we kind of showed as we got closer and closer with the to 6. The 3 kept getting greater, so it became 3, then 6, then 9.
Okay, so 3, then 6, then 9. So
That's
what
what
was she counting in just then when she said 3, then 6, then 9? What? Multiples, okay? And so the 2 times the 3, I'm thinking that you're talking about this, the 2, and then there are 3 different sections. Is that what you're saying? Okay, and sometimes this could be a little tricky to explain it, but that's a part of your job to explain what you're thinking about. So what we're talking about today is the relationship between 2 different numbers or 2 different quantities. And the language that I kept hearing was for every so many of this, there has to be so many of that. So I'm going to pass you out a worksheet, and we're going to continue this pattern. So there is a pattern. I heard the word pattern. I want you to know that what we're talking about is called ratios. Ratios, it's a comparison of 2 quantities. A ratio can be written in 3 different ways. So what you drew was exactly what the ratio said and what Demaya said. So for every 3 of one color, they're going to be 2 of the other. You can write it like this, 3 to 2. You can write it like this with the colon in the middle, 3 to 2. And then you can write it, and I heard that back table here, I kept hearing the fraction. How does this relate to fractions?
Because when you have fractions, like on our paper, it said 15 in all, and maybe like all those other yellow beads, like 3 of 15, and yeah, like those 3 yellow beads would be 3 of 15, or all of them together 9 of 15, or all the reds together 6 of 15.
You guys on your own saw that there are certain patterns when you're talking about ratios. So I just want you to be familiar with the term ratio, but you guys already know what it is and how to do it. You have to follow the pattern. And we'll talk about how this relates in other situations. Any other place where you've seen this with ratios in the real world? So for all of my future chefs out here, this is where this comes into the real world. So what I make at home for myself and my family, if I come in here with all of you, is that going to be enough? No. So we're going to have to continue to increase this. I need to give you time to work on your own. I'll come around to your tables if you have additional questions, but you need time to work on your own. So for every 3, how many red beads need to be behind those 3 yellow beads?
2.
So I need to see what after here?
1, 2.
Yeah, and what letter should be there?
R.
Okay. Yes. So that's something that you can share. Who was asking about the Kyle? So for every 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. So for 2 minutes, how many seconds would it be? 120. So you'll be able to tell him how it does relate to time. After the lesson on ratio, they'll continue to do more on ratios, so really helping them to make up their own ratios. They are having a little bit of difficulty when it comes to them making up their own and finding equivalent ratios, because the next thing will say, okay, well, if the ratio is 3 to 4, show 2 other equivalent ratios. And I think that's where the question mark is going to be. So I'm helping them to really be able to build up on what they know for one ratio and to magnify that to others. Remember, there are how many ways to write ratios? Three. So when you're writing it representing numbers, that's what you're doing. You're showing one of those 3 ways. When we come back, we're going to talk about, can you change it from 3 to 2 or 2 to 3? Does that order matter? Who says that it matters? Who says it doesn't matter? Who's not sure? We'll find out when we come back. So put this away. I need you to line up quietly for lunch.